Hello, good evening, everyone. This is Dari on WorldStreams Radio. Thank you to our listeners from all around the world for joining us tonight. To learn more about WorldStreams Radio, visit our website, worldstreams.org. You can also find us now on Facebook at facebook.com/worldstreams. Our guest tonight is Adam Hurst. Award-winning cellist and composer Adam Hurst uses the cello as a solo melodic voice and creates passionate and emotive musical poetry that digs straight into your soul. His music is at once haunting, ethereal, evocative, and romantic. Adam has performed throughout the U.S. and Europe and has been commissioned to compose and perform original work for the ballet, belly dance, and contemporary dance. His recordings have been used in independent films, documentaries, and art films. Adam has released 8 CDs of his original music, and Adam's compelling live performances are something that you shouldn't miss. Hello, Saeed. Hello, and welcome, Adam. It's a pleasure to have you with us tonight on WorldStreams.
Well, thank you for inviting me.
Well, hello, Dari. Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us, and good evening to you. Adam, what a beautiful piece we started with in the introduction. What can you tell us about this piece here?
Thank you. Hello, Saeed. That is a piece called Sparrow. I wrote about, say, a year ago for cello and piano. And it's from a CD called Elegy, which is many cello and piano songs that I composed within about a month or two time. And Sparrow is, well, it was used in a ballet recently. Somebody choreographed a full ballet to that piece, and I performed that live as well. But what do you think of it?
I think it's definitely beautiful. I think it takes you into an emotive type of musical journey, as it has this transporting quality that is definitely amazing. And one thing, one characteristic about your music, I read the word haunting constantly.
Right. I've heard that as well. I don't know if I necessarily sit down and try to create haunting music. I definitely try to create evocative music.
Well, it's hauntingly beautiful. Yes, more in that context. And when you spoke about it recently being choreographed, I used to study ballet, and that's the first thing that came to my mind when I heard it. Is there any video or film of that available anywhere for us to see?
Well, I hope so. We just performed it for the first time about a month ago, and it was at the Nevada Ballet Theater with the director there is James Canfield, and he is the choreographer that worked with me, and he did 4 of my pieces for the weekend show, and it was great. Beautiful.
Well, here's just one quick note in between this. We're interviewing live. We have a live interview here with live audiences from around the world, and there is a storm that's going through my area. I just want to let our listeners and also Adam know that if you lose me, that I will be right back, probably within 10 or 12 seconds, giving the time to my generator to kick in so I can be online again. This is just to let everybody, all our listeners, know that we have a storm going through this area. This is in between. And what a wonderful combination anyway, Adam, to have this music and have the rain. Is there any specific setup for your music?
I'm sorry, a specific setup?
Setup, yeah, a specific mood that one has to be in for your.
Oh, it's a good question. Actually, what I am after with my music is moods that can change depending on when you listen to them, when you listen to the piece. So you can listen to it at one night when it's raining and dark, and you'll get one feeling out of it, and perhaps the next morning you listen to the same song in a different place, and it will sound different and create a different meaning for you, for the listener. So that's what I enjoy about making these kind of evocative songs, is they're not any one specific thing. And I think that goes with the fact that it's instrumental music. There are no lyrics to it. So, you know, it's telling a story, but it can be a different story for each listener.
Yeah, exactly. And while I was listening, preparing for this interview, I was actually making some notes to myself that one of the pieces I listened to earlier was I was almost like sidetracked on concentrating about the interview, and I wanted to just start writing either poetry or writing, working on my novel, one of the two, and all of a sudden I was transported into a fall season, silence, with some kind of nostalgic, a nice, wonderful, moody feeling. And that's beautiful.
Well, that's wonderful. Well, thank you. I appreciate you saying that. That's exactly what I'm after. And I actually went to art school and studied visual art. I did not go to music school. However, I did, of course, study classical music, and I studied cello for over 20 years, and I've been playing for 28 years. And but my point is that going to art school and studying visual art, I was surrounded by visual artists, writers, filmmakers, and that kind of creative atmosphere lent itself to these more evocative, dreamy songs, if that makes sense.
Or renditions, absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, as opposed to, I think. Well, I think the music school atmosphere, and certainly composition school, might lend itself to a more intellectual music, as opposed to a more emotional music.